What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I'm going to talk to you on Polestar. This stock never can ever seem to catch a break. It is absolutely horrible to see that it constantly just gets pounded time and time again. But I want to talk on some of the current data points, break it down, what's influencing Polestar today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So Polestar is down 7.5%. A new 52-week and all-time low created at $1.82. A fair amount of volume, so 6.06 million shares being traded, 2.7 is the average. So the higher volume today is kind of a positive thing. It does show that big money is kind of looking at Polestar today, so that's definitely a good thing in my opinion. But there's a couple things influencing the price today, one of which is CPI. So CPI, both on the month over month and year over year basis, did come in a little bit higher, so that's spooking the broader market. So month over month came in at 0.3 versus the forecast being 0.2, and then on the year over year 3.4 versus 3.2. So this information definitely was not good by any means, and this does mean that the whole mentality of the Fed's cutting rates sooner rather than later is going to get thrown out the window, and is most likely going to be second half of 2024. So this information is just not good. Funny enough though, even though CPI is really affecting the broader market, if you kind of look, it didn't affect Polestar. It kind of caused it to go down maybe 1 or 2 cents. But aside from that, Polestar was kind of unchanged, which is very surprising because normally Polestar is just getting blown out of proportion every single chance it can. But the biggest thing that is affecting Polestar today is this news right here. So electric vehicle shocker, Tesla, Rivian, and Fisker fall after Hertz hit the gas pedal. So ultimately they're going to be stopping to buy a lot of vehicles, and that's not necessarily the best thing for Hertz or any of these companies. Even though Polestar isn't necessarily listed here, they do have that standing agreement from, I think it's mid or whatever, late 2022, where Hertz is going to be buying up to 65,000 vehicles from Polestar. So even though it's not really listed right here, it is affecting Polestar. So that in reality is causing it to go down quite significantly. And when it comes down to it, like, I would have figured that there'd be some long investors. A lot of analysts have been saying time and time again that 2024 is going to be the year of multiples. Institutions are going to be looking for value out there. And right now, Polestar, their PS ratio is 1.5. The future is 1. That is just crazy. To put it in perspective, Lucid is at maybe about 8.5. Rivian is at 6. Tesla is probably at 3. Neo, I think, is at 3 or 4, somewhere around there. So in comparison, even though, like, I don't know why, maybe people are acting like Polestar doesn't deliver any vehicles. I'm not really sure, but Polestar is the deepest discount stock, EV stock out there. Complete craziness. So I think that's been the case for the greater part of the year ever since I've been covering Polestar. It's been very discouraging because I really do like Polestar. They've really done a lot to better themselves through technology and just a lot of the partnerships. But looking at this, like, this is absolutely crazy. Even if you kind of zoom out over the last 1 year, down 67.71%. And let's say even over the last 6 months, you thought it was safe. Nope, 61.46% down over the last 6 months. Just craziness. Analysts oddly still don't even like Polestar. So these are some of the latest analyst ratings. Dan Levy from Barclays, who did give a $2 sell target. Like, no analysts like Polestar, which is crazy. And technically, when they were given these ratings, it was seen as very bearish, but turns out very accurate, because as a consensus, all these analysts together, it works out to be about 4.13 or $4.13, 124% upside from these prices. Looking at the latest Morningstar report, it does show the fair market value for Polestar being $3.25. The market is just seeing Polestar as burning through too much money and maybe not really getting a good foothold within the States. That's just my own interpretation, of course, not a financial advisor. But on a side note, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information, take a look at Interactive Brokers, completely free for all this information. Link in the description below, and also the comments for analyst ratings, forecast for upcoming earnings, ownership, everything under the sun that you need to know to kind of become a better investor. But I want to go over some information, such as shorts. So right now, shorts are increasing about 81,000 shares. 10.03% of the free float is being shorted. 24.63 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average is 18.01, so that has gone up quite a lot since I last looked at it. And through interactive broker short availability, it does indicate around 100,000 shares available to be shorted. And just in general, shorts have gone from about 6% to now 10%. So shorts have started to really double down on Polestar as it neared its 52-week and all-time low. So something just doesn't add up there. And it makes me do believe that there is some level of manipulation behind the scenes, maybe corresponding with analysts, or maybe there's some bigger entity out there that is just really hell-bent on getting Geely, Volvo, Polestar, everyone connected just to go to zero. I don't know. Maybe that's what is happening. Options wise, this is probably the most optimistic information throughout this whole video, but $33,000 in calls being purchased versus 28 in puts. Sentiment wise, 66% of all the options being done today are optimistic. So maybe people are just seeing, hey, look, a new 52-week and all-time low. I'm just going to buy long calls. Polestar will figure itself out and things will get better with time. Maybe that's just the mentality that's happening today. Looking at some of the call options that are being purchased today, there's an odd consensus that it's going to be above $3 by April 19th. I don't really know why, or maybe if there's a catalyst coming out at that time frame, I'm not really sure. Looking at puts though, it is anticipated for it to be sub $2. So clearly the risk versus return is very much in favor at these prices, because even puts don't really anticipate it to break sub, or I guess $1.50. So let me know your thoughts on that. Technicals. So a lot of people might not realize it, but this damn S3, so this $1.80 was the saving grace for Polestar today. So even though it is down $7.50, currently at $1.85, it is trading between this S3 and this S2. And funny enough, today it hit both extremes. So this S2 was the high as well. So in reality, Polestar is just overdone. Even if you compare Polestar to a lot of the other EVs, massively oversold, and that's just not a good scenario right now. With CPI now behind us, we can possibly start to move forward. Not necessarily talking about rate cuts anymore, but maybe about just improving things. Because like I said, a lot of analysts are saying 2024 is going to be the year of multiples and discounts. So maybe Polestar is going to get more eyes on it potentially as a result of its cheap discount. Who knows? We just have to sit tight and wait. As far as this, number of retail investors haven't really been doing all that much today, kind of flat. Stochastic is at 3, and that is considered very oversold. So if there's a good piece of news associated to Polestar itself, then you could see a very nice value rally. But then again, it's gone down so much. So for it to even get back to the 2s, like it needs to hit a banger for the most part. So Polestar definitely has a lot of work ahead of it, and I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Are you still optimistic on Polestar? I'm very cautiously optimistic, but clearly based on the momentum indicator shows just not a lot of people are. So what's your thoughts on that? Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with Polestar? And do you think today's sell-off is justified associated to Hertz/CPI? So what's your thoughts on that? And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Even though Polestar is doing whatever the hell it's doing today, take advantage of this promo. It's been extended up until January the 15th. Simply sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is one of the best deals in the market. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.